Hello, welcome to this video. So the setup is still questionable, as always. If I were perfectly set up every time, I wouldn't be much of a Pisces. Let me stop. I take that back. I'm not gonna put that on Pisces because there are some Pisces out there who can get it together, but I have every energy in my chart between my nodes and my Chiron, which is pretty much fixed or healed. It's majorly healed, surprisingly. But between my nodes and my Chiron, I have every energy in the chart except Virgo. So it's a particular area for me, we'll just say. But so I wanted to do sign readings, right? But I didn't necessarily I don't read love and other things didn't quite seem right. And I'm like, what do I do decently, right? And I was like very broad, very out there, like type of things. You like my scarf? It's kind of cold back here. That's why I'm wearing it. And my arms are out. So if you don't like big dudes, then hey, this video ain't for you. Well, the video can still be for you. It's the video. But anyway, look at me rambling. So basically, this is if your Jupiter is an Aquarius. If your Jupiter is an Aquarius, then hopefully this reading is for you. Hopefully you find something that resonates. I'm not gonna walk through the spread too much, but I meditated a little bit, tried to focus on that energy, got a feel for where Jupiter and Aquarius sort of merge. And it's an interesting spot because Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and Jupiter and Saturn, a lot of people like to say that they play sort of oppositional roles, but when they can merge and work together, it works beautifully, right? Anytime you can get two poles sort of working together, you get something beautiful. So we're going to start up here. Wow. Aquarius, we're starting with the Aquarius card, the Mother of Swords, akin to the Queen of Swords, cardinal heir. That is not y'all, that's Libra. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I guess I did want to mention before I start. So what was left at the bottom of the deck for the clarifiers. So I had the clarifiers in the middle and then the spread outright. And the clarifiers just kind of sort of help anchor the energy in for me. But the clarifier you have is the Four of Cups, which is Cancerian energy. I think the Four of Cups is kind of like, you know how Cancers can be homebodies because they sort of rule the house. They rule the home. I'd say Capricorn rules the house, Cancer rules the home. The house is the structure, it's the infrastructure, the fence, the amenities, the utilities, stuff like that. The home side of that is the comfort that you feel, right? And so it's like you're so comfortable, potentially, overall. You're in this very comfortable space where you don't too much want to move. Even if you're presented with something sort of new. Aquarius, you are a fixed sign, right? So the newest, hottest thing isn't always necessarily what you're on, but Aquarius also rules technology. So that's interesting. Anyway, we're starting with Libran energy and the Queen of Swords. And so if your Jupiter is in Aquarius, I think it might be time to really begin externalizing what it is you're passionate about. As I was saying, Aquarius is a little bit fixed. And so Aquarius is also very social. It's one of the social signs. Surprisingly, right? Not surprisingly. I take that back. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do better. I am doing better. Aquarius. But Aquarius is also a social sign. It's very networky. And it's not social in a Leo way because I feel like a Leo is a very personal, interpersonal social, a very deep social, whereas Aquarius is more of that networking, social connections type energy where you can have many acquaintances and partners and stuff like that, but you might not necessarily be like best friends. You know what I mean? And so this could also, well, this is Libran energy. But with the Queen of Swords, it's all about speaking. And it's about speaking the truth. and it's represented by an owl here, which is wisdom, right? Jupiter, also wisdom. So you may have been sort of like gathering intel on a new sort of like passion project, maybe. Oof, that energy. Okay. On a new passion project or something that you really want to work on. But since it's kind of sort of out of your wheelhouse, you may be a little intimidated to do it. But this is telling me that it's time for you to begin doing that now. Now, something for you to release is your control. And the Emperor can be a very intellectual energy, and Aquarius is a very intellectual sign. And so with these two paired together, it's almost like, you sort of know everything you need to know about this, but you're afraid maybe you're afraid that you won't succeed. Maybe you're afraid to fail. Maybe it's the type of thing, because we have the Daughter of Wands down here. Maybe it's the type of thing that logic can't really get you through. Maybe it's something that is more felt, something that is more hands-on than calculated. My Jupiter is in an air placement, and not that Jupiter has anything to do necessarily. Well, I guess it could. Jupiter could be one of the ways in which you learn, right? Since Jupiter is about wisdom and expansion and stuff like that, there are other placements that might more solidly, dictate learning. But I'm not a very hands-on learner. I could be audio, I could be visual, I could be like writing. But if it comes to like learning something hands-on, that's my slowest mode of learning. And so maybe it is something that you sort of like have to learn hands-on, and you won't allow yourself to be seen as a fool. You're not going to allow yourself to be seen as a novice. And so since you want so hard, oh my gosh, okay. Since you want so hard not to be seen as a novice, this is interesting. Then it's like you stop yourself from doing that, even though you could be really good at it. Because the Emperor is also like, he's the best at what he does. So it's like, it's get out of your head, allow yourself to flounder a little bit, and allow yourself to sort of like learn how to get there. And I think it's time for you to really tap into your creativity as well. It's kind of sort of beyond time, because you got two major players. You got the Emperor followed by the Empress. The Emperor is the one who sort of externalizes, who goes out and who does it. The Empress is the one who comes up with the plan. So you're in this space where you're ready to externalize it. So far, everything is upright, up top at least. But you're sort of not doing it because of this, like, you don't want to look like a fool. Right? So I think it's time to, I don't know, I'm getting a lot of like creative energies for you, Jupiter and Aquarius. I think it's time to really tap into that creative side of yours. And I think it's time that you maybe work on your work-life balance if you are sort of like working to the point where you're kind of burning out. It might be time to work on your work-life balance. It might be time to introduce a little bit more play. It also might be time to show the people that you care about how much you really love them and how much you really care about them. This is really a more internal space, but maybe it's time to sort of like take note on how much you care about those special people in your life. And if you are getting to the point where you are working more than you are showing those people that you care about them, in addition to like the life part of that work-life balance is for the people that you care about, right? So, if you want to spend more time with your kids, but you have a deadline coming up, if there's someone on your team that you can trust, or not even if you can trust, because I also get this feeling like some of this is like letting go, right? So like you need to let go of some of this. some of this control, so that you can be there to care for the people that you care for a little more. Someone that you can trust to get it done. Let them sort of try it out, not try it out, but let them take a crack at it, because if you can free yourself up a little bit more to spend more time with the folks that you love and care about, because at the end of the day, when you go home, you want there to be a happy home, right? You have the Cancerian energy here, you have the Empress here and the Emperor, the Mother of Swords. It is Swords energy, but it is a mother. Take time out for the folks you care about. And this is interesting. Because I think it's time for you to really look at what's important. What's really important. And to act in that way. Because with the Queen of Swords, even though that is a few steps back, the Queen of Swords is very knowledgeable. And it's almost like, live by the sword, die by the sword. She practices what she preaches. The Queen of Swords isn't just hot air. No, a Queen of Swords in reverse might be. I don't know. A Queen of Wands. I'm not going to say a Queen of Wands is full of hot air, but she can talk herself up sometimes. Like, she is that bee, but, a Queen of Wands in reverse, she'll talk about herself like she is that bee, but she might not be that bee yet. She is becoming that bee. Anyway, because with this energy, with the Magician energy, it's like you have all the tools that you need, but it's in reverse. So it's like time to downsize. Learn how to downsize. And he's like really focused on this pinnacle. That's the only tool, that's the only suit that the Magician is actually touching. He's not even like, at least the cup is sort of like on his body, and the wand is like, he's kind of sitting on the wand. The sword is completely off to the side. So yeah, it's I think this is saying to like learn how to be more present, learn how to be more in the moment, because I think the Magician is always making, creating, manifesting. I don't think it's not really taking the time to enjoy what it's been doing, right? So take time to enjoy what you're doing, because when you know what you're working for, I think it's nice to remind yourself what you're working for every now and then. To slow down enough to appreciate what you've done. Is this 2 cards? Oh my gosh. Hold on, wait. It is 2 cards. I got 2 cards in this position last time too. This must be a hot position. I didn't even realize that. I was like, wow, I got 1 card in everything this time. Nope, we got 2. So next, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this might be getting a burnout. So 2 things to bring into balance. So the Sun and the Daughter of Wands are both here, which is akin to the Page and the Knight of Wands. They both made an appearance. I'm just, shouting that out. To bring into balance, or what might need some healing, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse with the Son of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles upright. So I think this is, if there's someone who you work with, if this is a work thing for you, if this isn't a work thing for you, then I guess I'll get to that in a second, what else it could be. But if this is a work thing, it's like, if there's someone, if you work on a team, because with the 3 of Pentacles, that's teamwork. If there's someone who is young and very sort of like excited, someone very bright-eyed, enthusiastic, who has a lot of potential, who you see and you can appreciate in them, then maybe let that person do a little bit more, Because with the Ten of Wands in reverse, I think that's the energy of like letting your burdens down. And it looks like it's set up for everything that I've been talking about. It looks like it's nicely set up for you to actually follow through with it. It looks like there is a person who you work with, who you see the potential in, who with a little bit more training, because it is the Son of Wands, it's not the Father of Wands, right? So you might have to give him a little additional training, or to really prepare him to take over, or not to take over, but to really prepare him to assist. You might have to pour a little bit into him, a little bit more, tell him exactly how you like it, teach him your standards. So then not only does it improve his own work ethic, but it also puts you in a space where you can fully trust him to sort of like, if you need to step back and if you need to regroup, if you need to spend time with family, if you need to improve your work-life balance, if you need to recharge yourself, because with the Magician in reverse and the Star in reverse, I think that is a big burnout energy. Now I'm seeing it as like a huge burnout energy. And I think, yeah, it's like learning not to do so much. You need to learn how to sit down. Jupiter and Aquarius. Juqarius. I'll call you Juqarius. You need to learn how to sit down, Juqarius. And it looks like there's someone ready to step up when you sit down. And lastly, but not leastly, there's that King of Wands. Wow. So everyone is on the table except the Mother of Wands. The whole Wands family is here, upright, and on the table. That's interesting. Another thing that's interesting is Leo is actually your natural opposite. I guess Jupiter and Leo would be the opposite of a Jupiter and Aquarius, but it'd be the same energy in the same sector, but playing like mirrored roles, right? And so, girl, I done did it again. Juqarius. I just messed y'all up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Juqarius. So this is actually a blockage. I mean, it kind of works out to be the same thing, actually, the way I talked about it. But maybe like there's this person who you're kind of sort of like, by not trusting them to do this work for you, by sort of being not micromanaging, but a little too anal, maybe, because the Queen of Swords can be anal. Like not only are you overworking yourself more than you need, but so that, okay, that plays nicely. So not only working yourself harder than you need, but you're also like stopping yourself from, I don't know, finding a successor. This could also be successor type of energy. And it's not successor like someone who's taking over your job, but let's say that you get promoted within the same department, right? You would want someone who can do your job well if you still have some interest in that job being done well. So don't hinder others either through hindering yourself. Because lastly, what you need to balance is letting go of control. Hierophant in reverse, loosening the reins. And it's funny that both the Hierophant and the reverse both the Hierophant and the King of Wands has a lightning bolt on them. Excuse me. So the Hierophant is an earth card. It's Taurian energy. But it's depicted by a crow, which is air energy. And there's a lightning bolt on it, which is fire energy. So it's everything but water. And I think the water sort of comes in when you find that work-life balance. I don't think there's a single cup on this table. Ain't a single cup on this table, Jupiter and Aquarius. But if your Jupiter is in Aquarius, I ain't gonna say you dry, but you might not necessarily be caring about how people feel. It's like, okay, well, this is what needs to be done. This is what would work for the best of all. This is what would be in everyone's interest, and it cares to the point, or you, I guess, sort of care to the point where you want everything to be just and you want everything to be fair. But if everything being just and if everything being fair means that someone is a little sad that they don't get all the cookies instead of, If someone is upset that they only get 3 cookies instead of all the cookies, then it's like, okay, well, you still have 3 cookies, so I'm not really worried that you don't have like 12 cookies when you threw 9 cookies away anyway. You ate 3 cookies and you still have 3 cookies, so you're sad that you're not throwing more cookies in the garbage. Like, I don't get it. But I want to pull a few cards of advice. There's a cup. Ace of Cups in reverse. I think this is just sort of affirming that, there are people in your life that you want to know that they are loved. That you want them to know how much you care about them, but maybe with the way your schedule works, you're not really able to. With the Daughter of Pentacles, it's almost like you're not absent, but you're just not there as much. Because I feel like with the energy that's on the table, this is a very, very hard worker. This is someone who externally is like really put together. And internally, it's almost like they're too wound up internally. You don't really allow yourself to do anything new or interesting or exciting or fun. You don't really allow yourself to take any risks. But as this energy progresses, it's like, it's time to loosen up the reins, to spend more time with the people you care about, and to, I don't know, allow yourself to have fun. And then last piece of advice is the Sun, and it is in reverse. So the Sun is always good, whether it's upright or whether it's in reverse. I've heard, The Sun is always the Sun. And the Sun is sitting on top of the wheel of life, right? So I think if you've been in the space, Jupiter in Aquarius, and this will be the other part. So if this isn't about work for you, then hey, you made it to the end of this video. I'm sorry. If you're still here, thanks. If you're not here, then hey, oh well. But this is the energy of like you needing to be the light within yourself that you want to see reflected into your reality, right? If you want brand new experiences, if you want a break from the norm, if you want excitement and passion and fire and a spark, if you want to feel like you're actually living your life instead of working your life away, or instead of thinking your life away, instead of rationalizing and overthinking your life away, if you want to be a little bit more approachable, because this energy, you open up with the Queen of Swords, who isn't necessarily the most approachable queen, but there's also a lot of big energy on the table. It's like, you sort of have to embody that joy a little bit more before your experience becomes as joyous on the outside. As within, so without, right? And I think that's another sort of theme in here. It's like, loosen the reins. Don't be so rigid. You don't always have to be like perfect and polished and super neat. But allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to have fun. Allow yourself to try something new. Because ultimately, that's, if you don't at least try something new, how are you going to have a new experience, right? And then I'll get one more of these, just as sort of like, I don't know, anything deeper. I can't even remember. Oops, the Lovers tried to come out. And another Fool. Oh, okay, well this card, the Sun. The Sun again. Y'all see that this is be the only card that I actually put up to the phone so y'all can see it. The Sun just came out again, this time upright. Be that light, right? And look, there's the Four of Cups in reverse on the, or it's upright, the Four of Cups again. So, we start where we end, but the Sun came out again. The Sun is the warrior. So, like, it's already like you're sort of fighting to champion yourself. If this is about work, you might be fighting or working to provide for a family. But the Sun is like, it's like you're already doing it for them. Why not enjoy time with them as well? If you can afford it. if you can't afford to work less, then I think this is about finding ways and finding moments to still show the people that you love and care about that you love and care about them. To show them that you're thinking of them, and to show them that they're special to you and that they actually mean something, right? All right, Jupiter and Aquarius, Juqarius, this is what I got for you. I hope it resonated. If not, maybe come back to it. Because sometimes, and that's why I picked Jupiter, because Jupiter exists outside of time. Jupiter's reach expands beyond time. What is time? Time is but an illusion. Time is what happens when you're surrounded by a 28 or when you work under a 28. And by that I mean the moon or Saturn, because they both have like 28 sort of periods, right? Saturn goes through the zodiac every 28 years. The moon goes through the zodiac every 28 days. So if you're on Earth, you're surrounded by a 28, the moon. If you're on the other planets, Saturn is the furthest out, right? But Jupiter is the one who was like the rule breaker. It breaks the mold. Jupiter's too expansive. So yeah, Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter and Aquarius. Aquarius ruled by Saturn. And Uranus. I think it's time to sort of like step outside that box a little bit. Because I think with this, it's like you're sort of working to make something better. You're working to improve something, but you're not enjoying what it is you're actually improving. So do that if it resonates. I'm going to upload this now. So, bye!